Common prepositions of movement. Hello and welcome to another episode of Grammar with Altaf. Today we are going to explore something very practical in English. Common prepositions of movement.
Yes, prepositions of movement help us describe how something or someone moves from one place to another. By the end of this lesson, you'll be confident in using words like into, onto, across, through, and many more.
Let's start with a very common one. Into. This preposition is used when something moves from outside to the inside of a place. For example, she walked into the room. The movement is from outside to inside.
Exactly. Compare that to in. In just describes location, but into tells us about the action of entering. For instance, he is in the room means he is already there, while he went into the room means he moved from somewhere else to be inside.
Another important preposition of movement is onto. We use onto when something moves to a position on top of a surface. For example, the cat jumped onto the table. The cat wasn't on the table before, but it moved to that position.
That's right. And just like in and into, we also have a difference between on and onto. On describes location. The book is on the table. But onto tells us about the movement. She put the book onto the table.
Now, let's talk about across. We use across when something moves from one side of an area to the other side. For example, they walked across the street. It means they started on one side and ended on the other side.
A good point here. Across usually means the movement happens over a surface or through an open space, not through something enclosed. You might say, we sailed across the lake, or he ran across the field.
Next is through. This is used when something moves from one side of an enclosed space to the other, going inside that space during the movement. For example, the train went through the tunnel. The train entered one end of the tunnel and came out the other.
Yes, and through can also be used for less physical examples, like we walked through the crowd. It means moving inside an area filled with people until you reach the other side.
How about over? Over means movement above something, sometimes without touching it. For example, the bird flew over the house. The bird moved from one side to the other, passing above the house.
Right. And sometimes over can involve movement above and then down, like she jumped over the fence. In this case, there's a clear obstacle, and the movement goes above it to reach the other side.
Let's not forget past. This one is often used to describe movement from one point, passing by another point, and continuing. For example, he walked past the shop. He didn't go into the shop. He simply moved by it.
Yes, past is a great word for describing movement without entering. The car drove past my house means it went by but didn't stop or come in.
Now we have towards. This preposition shows movement in the direction of something, but not necessarily reaching it. For example, she is walking towards the station. We know she's going in that direction, but maybe she hasn't arrived yet.
And the opposite is away from. This tells us the movement is going in the opposite direction from something. For instance, he ran away from the fire. The important idea here is the starting point, the fire, and the movement going away from it.
Here's another useful one. Along. We use along to describe movement in a line, often following the edge of something. For example, they walked along the river. The movement follows the path beside the river.
Similarly, down and up describe movement in vertical or sloping directions. He ran down the hill means from a higher position to a lower one. She climbed up the ladder means from a lower position to a higher one.
There's also around or round. This shows movement in a circular path or surrounding something. We walked around the park means we followed a path surrounding the park, possibly returning to the starting point.
Yes, and sometimes around can mean movement without a clear fixed direction, like he's wandering around the city. That suggests general movement within an area without a precise route.
Another common one is off. It means movement away from a surface. For example, he jumped off the chair means he moved from being on the chair to not being on it anymore.
Exactly. And out of is also important. It means movement from inside to outside. She went out of the house means she started inside and moved to the outside.
Let's do a quick recap of examples with short sentences for each. Into, the dog ran into the garden. Onto, he climbed onto the roof. Across, they swam across the pool. Through, the bus went through the tunnel. Over, the plane flew over the mountains. Past, we walked past the museum. Towards, she cycled towards the bridge. Away from, he moved away from the window. Along, they strolled along the beach. Up, the boy ran up the stairs. Down, she slid down the slide. Around, we drove around the city. Off, he fell off the ladder. Out of, the bird flew out of the cage.
Those examples make it really clear. The key to mastering prepositions of movement is to picture the action in your mind. Where does it start and where does it go?
And remember, prepositions of movement are all about direction and change of position. They help your listener or reader clearly understand how something is moving.
So, in today's lesson, we learned that prepositions of movement include words like into, onto, across, through, over, past, towards, away from, along, up, down, around, off, and out of. We explored how each one describes a specific type of movement from one place to another.
We also learned that many of these prepositions have similar location forms, like in versus into, or on versus onto, but the movement form always focuses on the action and direction.
Exactly. And the best way to get better at using them is to practice making sentences and to notice them when you read or listen to English.
That's all for today's episode of Grammar with Altaf. Thank you for joining us, and keep practicing these prepositions so you can use them naturally.
See you in the next lesson, where we'll tackle another interesting and useful part of English grammar. Until then, keep learning and keep improving.